Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Finally. That's so. It turns out it does not play the monitor channel when the channel is not the active one, because earlier I was on the splash screen, which does not have the source. Oh, okay. Should have tested better. Anyway.
No worries. So people can hear me on the stream too now.
Yes.
They should. Yeah. So shall we start, Rachnan?
Yeah. So I guess you can see my VS Code.
Yes, I can indeed.
Okay. So first of all, welcome everyone to this special stream with a guest, I guess. And so in the last stream, so I did stream on Friday, right? And I prepared something to the build system so that it will put the overlay files in its own dedicated directory. And so that's a special device info configuration. Not special, it's a device info configuration which tell us whether to use overlay store or not. And here we see here the thing will configure the overlay system partially, and then when it's time to build a tarball, it will check this flag again and move everything into the overlay store here. So that should be it for the build system part. Yeah, and with this it should be, and I tested this yesterday, so no. So for the porting side, we set this flag in the device info file, and I guess it should produce tarball file in the compatible format now, as we will demonstrate here.
Yeah,
and
the last terminal line is
this
not
format. And you see that things are inside this directory now. However, the thing is, when we are using the overlay store file, we have to consider about what file is in which path, if that path exists in the rootfs, and if not, we have to rename it so that either it's the same file that exists on the rootfs, or we tell it, nope, this is file adding, we need to overlay the directory, right? So let's go through the overlay directory and see what we have to do. So we will do not as little as possible to make it good for now, and we will see where we will go from here. And so let's see here. Let's see if some sort of Rachnan,
Rachnan, can I interrupt? So I'd like to actually get the people who are maybe watching the stream more in. So the session we are currently working on, or what we're working on, is getting Ubuntu Touch 2004 ported to the FairPhone 4, and we use the new overlay system that you designed, and we basically start with a very generic rootfs image that needs some replacements of files or additions of files. And this is the overlay system file tree, basically, that we add or replace.
Right. So
go ahead.
The way it used to work for GSI port is that it just blatantly replace any file on the rootfs with the new file. So the thing is, when a Delta rootfs update comes in, that Delta rootfs is entitled to also overwrite the file that device tarball places, and that has caused problem in the past. So we have decided to use this new overlay store system so that the overlaying file is separated clearly from the rootfs, and Delta update won't overwrite it. And I hope and I think that this device will be the first device that receives this treatment. And so, I mean the first device with GSI ports, because non-GSI ports has used this system for ages actually. And so here we are.
So question from my side. So when does the overlay file system tree get applied? Does it get applied on every system boot, or how does it work?
Yeah, it essentially gets applied on every system boot via series of my bind mounts and mounting overlay FS file systems configured in the overlay tree, and I will show you how to configure this shortly.
Great. So I'd say let's dive into this.
Okay. And so first of all, I think it might be useful to have rootfs. I mean, in the future, we probably should have like a reference on which file is supposed to be overwritable or something like that. But for now, here's what. For now, I will recall from my memory, and we will see if that's enough. And so this file still, I think I should get another port. So what I'm working here, I'm plugging the Sony Xperia X into. Okay, that's not representative. I should use Vodafone instead. So instead, I'm booting Vodafone so that I can see if this file actually exists on the device or not. Right. One moment, please.
So
also, I'm wondering if I should. Sorry.
So what you're doing now is you boot up a reference device based on Ubuntu Touch 16.04, correct? Or is it already a 20.04 device, the Vodafone you're booting now?
On the 20.04 because I want the rootfs content inside the 20.04 rootfs, so that I know if I can do if I have to configure the overlay system or not. Okay, so I mean, I'm considering if I should shrink in your video. Okay, you know what? I think I should move it to the left. I cannot resize it without refreshing, perhaps I think it's worth doing so. Okay, so that does not flicker. Okay. I think that looks great. Anyway. Okay, it looks good now. So,
Super.
I mean, do you happen to see the YouTube stream too?
No, I must admit, no. I'm fully focusing
Okay.
on what you demonstrate.
Okay. And so this is Vodafone on 2004, so I'll have to check if this path exists. And yes, just this path exists and its content is empty. So yes, so that means this file will work out of the box. Meanwhile, this is /etc/init. It won't be there. Oh, okay, it still be there, but it won't be read by systemd, obviously. Okay, looks like it's a prime example for getting this into the device hack system. So instead of letting porters place arbitrary init units into the system, actually it's still doable, but instead of doing that, we provide a hook called device hacks, which is an arbitrary code that starts after the Android container starts, so that something like this can be done, right? And because this is custom code, we will have to take that into consideration. For mount Android, yeah, we will see that it has some custom some overlaying. So this is a common way of overlaying files in the vendor directory, in the vendor partition of the image, as it usually happens. As it usually happens, we will have to overwrite certain files in order that things work correctly, because not all vendor partitions are perfect. However, this file is if we start to use overlay system, these two lines does not work. First of all, because it's an upstart, and second of all, because this path won't actually exist. So what we will do is,
so we are currently looking at
sorry?
The 1604 version of the FairPhone 4, or is it the Vodafone we're looking at here? Because
this file
upstart
is device. This file is in the FairPhone 4's device repository.
Okay, so it's for 1604, which still uses upstart to start system services, and we want to sort of we don't want to fully migrate this to system D service upstart, but you have this hook that you mentioned earlier, where you want
yes,
to
but
inject.
But in this case, I mean, this is not exactly custom code. This is the code that this is something that I know lots of ports do, and so we have prepared this as part of our boot script.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's doing the same overlaying action as the rest of the system. So what we will do here is that I inspect this directory. So you will notice that we have Defender directory under this tree. We can just okay, I should move overlay, and we will create directory called Android because on the system all Android partitions are mounted under /Android. And then we move this from the overlay vendor into Android directory, and that's it. And we don't have to. And now this script doesn't have to be very worried. And then this script shouldn't have to be run for this overlaying to happen. And so like with this part appearing correctly, it will the overlay mounting system will put these files in the correct place by itself without the need of these two lines.
So that's happening during boot time then, and that's part of your new overlay system.
Correct.
Okay.
Now about this metadata, I'm not sure why it's needed. This is weird. Let me check it history. No, I need git blame.
Git log p. Or oh yeah, applying.
That's in initial commit. That does not help.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I will check with FairPhone for. And the thing is, if with the way mounting script works, if this directory appears in the Android FS tab, the FS tab of Android, it should just work. And so now I'm just booting FairPhone 4 with Ubuntu Touch 16.04 to see what's going on here.
I'm doing the same here on my device because I'm very curious. So it was /Android/metadata, right? It's a directory.
Yes.
Oh yeah, says so there in the script.
The annoying thing about FairPhone 4 port, and I guess it's some kind of more generic problem with GSI ports, is that sometimes ADB just does not work.
Oh, I've actually noticed that as well.
Yeah, and so and while we're waiting for it to load.
So I can see more folders in there. Apex, Bootstat, GSI, ODA, password slots, staged install, and Volt.
Now will you come up?
So, Rajanan, here, in fact, it is just an empty directory. A list of directories, and these directories are empty, as it seems.
I mean, it might have other functionality. So I just want to check with the FS tab. So I'm looking for the path for FS tab. So that's it's indeed etc. Thank you. So key directory blah blah blah. Okay, so since it has this entry, I think it should works.
So, but do you need the folder, or is it a mount point? So it's actually stuff that comes from the kernel that we find in that directory. No.
Sorry, stuff in the
So yeah, so no, question is, so on my FairPhone 4, I see various directories, and so, and you say this is a block device called metadata. So do you need actually the directory structure?
That directory structure theoretically should already be in the Android root file system, which
Okay.
is in this image, right? And because it's not like it's writable like in the past. So in the past, the root of Android file system is just a RAM disk, but this is not the case. So the directory better be there, or things will break also on the upstream on the actual Android usage.
Okay.
Okay, where do okay this actually I have to port this thing to I have to port this thing to device hacks now because this is actually it if I recall correctly, IPA is something to do with touchscreen and should we do that now?
Yes, let's do.
Yeah. So the key to device hacks is the overlay file called /usr/lib exec. Actually, it's just this file.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in this path.
Okay, so it's an empty file, and we dump all the script parts that we want to run on boot.
Yes.
But dump everything in there.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this, and then we touch this, and then we open this file. And this start mode Android. This thing, yeah, this thing start way after all Android partitions are mounted. And we specify shebang. Although when actually, fun fact, when actually run, it will always run with // So specify your shebang accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Do we need that?
I mean, it does not hurt, I guess. And then if echo 1 dv yeah, I think that should do. And for MTP state, this thing is pretty common thing, the setup USB script when because on Signal the Android the USB controlling system is actually broken for newer Alien versions, and so they have this kind of hacks that does the USB managing manually, and does it just and we can just ignore this because the whole USB thing is solved in 2004.
Oh, great.
So we will skip this. Now this file, okay, I think it needs some environment variable for repower D.
Okay.
We have that facility yet.
In parallel, check repower decode. How system service startup and manipulation of startup variables is done there. It's interesting.
Okay, we does not have that yet. So I think now it's a good time to demonstrate the feature that we called overlay directory. Okay, but can we do that? It's not enough, right? Okay, we can do that. So what we are going to do is we need to place an arbitrary file inside the file system, which is not something I recommend to do usually, but this is because we lack the facility to do that. To actually provide environment variables to repower D, we have to do this for now.
So you want to replace the repower D service file, Rajanan?
No, I will not do that. Instead, I will use the facility of systemd called drop-in file.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we will have to do is we go to this and create this directory. And no, not with root. The way we do is repower d.service and append.d. So this directory is a standard. It's actually a standard structure for drop-in files. So there can be multiple drop-in files in this directory. And so what we can do is place a drop-in file here. And start writing snippets of systemd service file. I can't exactly remember if environment is in the unit section or the service section. Let me check. No. Okay, probably it's in service file if it looks like this, but let me check. Again.
It's near exec start at least. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's also preserve the comment. And also this. I mean, I'm not sure if this thing is like Android 9 specific code or not, because RepowerD actually has multiple branches that. So Android 9 has its own Android 9 branch with some Android 9 specific codes, and so I'm not sure if this is how it works. But we'll keep it for now and we'll look for it later.
So I see that people quote the variable name equals the value. So they put it in quotes here in examples that I see. It's maybe not. Well, yeah, they do that as well.
I mean, it's not necessary, but
it's probably important if you have blanks in the value.
That's usual stuff. And okay, the last part that we have to do is we have to identify the common directory that actually exists on rootfs. So you will see that on the device. Excuse me. This directory exists, but this does not. And so we have to configure the overlay system in the level of /lib/system/system. And what we will do is we will put a hidden file called Helium overlay dir. Let me check the spelling though. Right, I think it's right.
Yeah, that.
And with this, the overlay mounting code will merge these two directories together as merge these two directories together as with the overlay fs, and this environment should appear. Okay, now that we have gone through this, let's continue. Open our subscription.d. Okay, this thing. It's funny that the file specify FS Pro 1. Anyway. For this, we don't actually have this directory and this file. However, we have this file instead. So the history is that in the past, this file used to be the most overwritten file. It used to be overwritten pretty frequently. And so ports that are prone to file overwriting is moved to the drop-in directory approach instead. However, when we use overlay store, we don't have this problem, so we can just move to the common file, which is this file.
So do we want to override the conf file now, or do we want to use the subdir approach? We want to override it. Okay.
We use this we use the override config file here because this file is truly device specific.
Okay, and there's no other file that might appear in the .d folder. It's just one file for each device, and we don't add a similar conf file from other sources, like other packages. Okay, good.
Now this directory can be deleted. Nice.
Question: can we also remove the upstart files? The whole init?
Can.
Okay.
The question is, should we do it now though?
in case we need it as a reference later. Yeah. Okay, good.
And this thing is actually Android 9 specific. I will leave this like this for now because we might have to add support for this file in the future. But for now, the auto detection should be good enough for us to have this. Okay, we will leave this file for now. This file still exists on the vocal. Oops. Okay, right. So we can leave this, and so does this file. No. Okay, I don't want to override the whole /etc. So the weakness of the overlaying the whole DAR is that we cannot do this if we have other, like if that path is also covered partially by writable path system, which is the system that binds mounts various subdirectories to a writable path of the file system so that the config can be persisted and whatnot. Okay, let me think about it.
So let's recapitulate the question. We have the gbinder conf file. It is not in your Vola 2004 version, but we have it in the FairPhone 4 1604. I can take a look.
I'm not sure what happened. And nothing actually ships this. Okay, I think we should package gbinder so that it ships this file, so that it can the porters can overwrite it if needed. But I think in general gbinder should be able to detect if it's running under the what API level it's running under. Let me check. Makes sense. Okay, this is interesting. I mean, it's possible to. It's really possible to. It's actually possible to auto detect the API level. For now, we can leave it like this. Okay, so we have two jobs to do.
So this could be something like etc default repower D, and then we have environment variables in there, and that gets sourced by the systemd unit.
Yeah, that's possible.
Mm.
And okay, we will leave it for the future.
I think I put some issue reports into GitLab for those projects.
You can do that, or I mean I have Node.
Yeah, I'm doing it while we speak here.
Okay. I'll be back. So what the heck? Okay, so this thing this thing so the rule says that wait a minute. Are you finished?
I have the first, yes. It is it's this one here.
Okay, I have to get into
Did I break your OBS studio setup now by opening the chat? Okay. Okay. So for the G, Rachana, for the
anyway.
For the gbinder conf file, we have a package for libgbinder, which is just packaging. Shall we add it there, or I guess so? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So let's see. Gbinder. So we have gbinder Python, libgbinder, libgbinder radio. It's libgbinder, I guess, where we put it just into the Debian folder and done.
And so, shall I continue?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so this is UDEV rules.d, and what we are saying is that it used to custom files that does not exist in rootfs. However, we can fix this pretty easily because we have this file in the rootfs that is ready for you to byte mount. It's 99.
Okay.
So we just have to rename those files and we are good. Rename to this. No, I have to specify the full path too, though. And
so I think you just mentioned it, but asking again, this is by convention.
Yes, this is by convention. So mostly we don't want to add new files to the rootfs because we have specific points for things. But sometimes it has to be done like the repower the override case.
So, but that also means we can just have one of these UDEV rules files.
No, it's ordering. So on the file system, so I can show you this because we have this file in the packaging. So this file is get replaced by device specific rules at runtime, which so we are byte mounting to this file by default on non-GSI ports.
Okay. So you have different priorities in terms of boot order or in terms of loading order where you can inject individual rules.
Right. And for 99 Android, this is so this hint. So UT system. So on most devices, MMCBLK0 is system disk, but on FairPhone 4 apparently it's not. So Nikita just told me that, and so we will have to. So that's why we are byte mounting this file so that this will get overwritten. And so we rename this into this instead.
Okay.
Now we are entering /usr. So libexec, we just add that. No problem. And okay, this directory we can remove now. Again, this file, usually it can this is just like UDEV rules. We have a specific file for byte mounting, and so we just have to rename it. I just have to check what that file is named.
So in various packages that are targeted by porters, the modification of those packages, we have implemented already these sort of dummy files where people could then drop in their porter related or port related file instead. Okay.
Yes. And that's how it used to work. because back in the day when the canonical did it, and like other like back in the days you still have to use system.ing file. So back when you still have to produce each device image, like not GSI, everything is contained in the Android-rootfs.img or system.img. So that contains the Android file system itself and the Android rootfs needed to for the port if that's required, if for the older versions, and also any overlay files. And so that overlay files in that image is actually following this format. And so that's why we have default for stuff. So we have default file for stuff that's supposed to be byte mounted over because that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to work back in the day. And so in this case, it has to be just this.
And git what? Git
Oops.
move or
Git MV.
Mm-hmm.
Slip up happens. And then up start session, audio system pass through override. Okay, in theory, I think we have to provide equivalent of systemd here too. In practice, I think audio system pass through is not packaged in Focal yet. Let me check though. Okay, so we did, and actually I did.
So what does it do, Rajnan? Audio system pass-through.
It essentially make pulse audio act as if it's audio flinker and provide like audio flinker services. So this is done because of inserting audio hall implementation. It will the radio interface layer RAL implementation will talk to the audio hall so that it communicates the hall status and whatnot between them. And I'm not sure why it has to do that, but so this thing exists because in order for how to work correctly, it goes through this.
So, but
first of all, do we even have this in the rootfs?
Nope.
It's not even installed. What? And second, do we have the right systemd file installed?
Fail to fetch. Update maybe.
No. I have to remount the file system read write. That's also a common mistake. we can inspect what file it installs. Not much.
Not
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we need a service file actually for that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And we also have to
correct.
add that to the seed.
And we actually don't have to provide the override, or is the override possibly always different?
I don't know. In fact, I would have to check on other devices.
Exactly, yeah.
Because on FairPhone 4 it would have been overwritten.
Yeah, if there's an override, that's probably a conf file, right? For Upstart. Can you look on the FairPhone with 1604? Has it booted yet? Otherwise I can take a look on mine here if there's
Okay, Nikita says that pulse audio module also starts auto system pass through by itself.
a wire socket.
But that's override. That I don't know. I have to check. Actually, I should put my phone on silent. One moment, please. Okay. Sorry for annoyance for the viewers. Helper binary QTI found. QTI AF. Okay, now I'm not sure what's going on. We will leave this out for now. No, actually I can check this.
So it uses the debus socket. So what's the difference? VA.
It's the same. So Nikita says that it's running in pulse audio in QTI and stuff. So audio system pass-through also have the mode called QTI because of so in newer Qualcomm devices it also use a different calls different APIs that control the audio HAL, but it's the same idea. Service file overlay.
So, but the difference is the -T AF option at the very end.
I guess. I mean, we can leave this for now because it's not essential for the device to boot. And I think in this case I think we might have to handle the startup by itself.
Oh, I guess it's different backends. Because I see code files, QTI, HW2, and AF.
Yeah, I will try to sort this difference later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, we will leave it like this for now. And MTP server, again, this is actually like common for newer ports. We can leave it like that. It's USB related. And also this.
Wait a sec, but that's in upstart sessions. So don't we need the MTP server anymore? Well, we need, but not the way to start up it because it starts up differently via systemd, or do we actually need to move stuff from there to the device hex file?
No, the MTP server, we on Focal we have a completely different way to start MTP server. So
okay, so it's there and it comes up.
We can leave it like this.
And this has some light DM, so that's also for light DM. It's all good.
Yeah,
the other one, the MTP server.
MTP state. Yeah, there's some ordering system. No, it will work.
Okay.
And this thing, I think. Yeah, we don't actually need this. So we will leave this file for now. It will come in handy when we have to specify the config for USB mode D, which for those that does not follow the Focal development is a daemon that responsible for USB stuff, operating USB stuff in 2004. And so we will leave this file for now. And yeah, I think that's it.
Do you want to put a reminder into that file that's currently on screen for USB mode D porting?
I mean, we can have a reminder. It's not via email. The VS Code language station goes ham all the time. At one point, it parsed Debian control file as various other languages.
Like Python or something.
It's not. No, it's YAML.
Okay.
To be fair, it looks like it, but it's not. It's not. Well, that aside, I think we are ready to build the Turbo for the first time. And what I will do is I will build the whole device tarball, and then we will produce the system, the image that can be flashed over fastboot D, because we have to simulate the system image process so that the files are placed in the right place in the rootfs, because it's now multiple files, unlike the ye old days non-GSI methods. But before we do that, I wonder if I have the ownership change applied. I guess not. Okay, before we do that, let me deal with this real quick. Because we need because we need some fix so that the device tarball are created correctly.
That was the slash, the ownership of slash, right?
Right, that thing. And this is actually common to signal ports as well, I believe, but the symptom appears on the focal ports because system DTIM files. So with that merged, we can start building.
Yay. So what you're doing now is you build the system image for fastboot, but how do we get this generic part? Is it just the rootfs image with focus stuff on, and is that ends up in the data partition, or how does it go?
The way it works is that we have a specific device system image layers that contains only the Android image from GSI build. And so it will be combined in the rootfs in a later step. So at this point, I'm just producing the device tarball, and from this point I have to reference the GitLab CI, and because I've changed it to the shared one, I have to reference that one instead. So it's this thing, right? And okay, that means I also need the branch for rootfs URL support. I need to merge, get more stuff. Okay. And now, oops, we need to yeah, so this command will pull in all the files required to create the system partition, and that will be pulled from system image server and from DCI producing the rootfs. And after that, we can do system image, we can simulate the system image so that the image file is produced.
So assuming this is working, what steps are then required actually to provide 2004 installation support to people who have a FairPhone 4 via the UBports installer? So assuming we have enabled hidden channels in the UBports installer, do we just have to basically file a merge request with the changes you did on the porting repo, or do we need to do more?
So first, because this is quite a breaking change, so this differs from other ports that I've done is that because the overlay store is not available in Signal just yet, Florence said he's working on it. But because of that, it will have to be on a separate channel. After that, we will have to configure the system image server so that it provides this port.
So the builds that you do now in the terminal here, they work on CI basically.
Yeah, so this part is actually like the CI emulating the GitLab CI so that I can flash it. But when using installer, it the system image server will actually take just the device tarball and provide it together with other files, rootfs and GSI device tarball. And the actual installing task is handled by the recovery inside the device. And so that with the recovery will actually assemble all the files on the device, and the result will not very different from what we are doing here, except that the source of the file will be different.
Yeah, sure. So those permission denied messages are okay?
They are okay. These are not read on vocal anyway. Meanwhile, I have to exclude this directory. Okay. And I'm hoping that my disk won't be filled up first.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope not.
So have you tried that before? How long does it take to tar up the thing?
No. I have, but I have done it, but I have not timed it.
Okay.
But I just realized that I should also offload this task to a faster SSD on the device instead of slower hard disk that store all the files. But well,
No.
the ship has sailed.
Rajanan, could you for the listeners, could you post or show us the Git repo that you've been working on the whole time? So I'm
this so the port for FairPhone 4 is available under the UBports community port.
So and then
group.
FairPhone. Yeah. Okay.
Right. It's now linked in the YouTube live chat for those
nice.
that are interested.
Okay. So while this is running, shall we use the time to recapitulate what we have been actually doing? So maybe by looking at Git status and
so what we have done, we have moved quite a few files to its new name. So this is the Android overlay stuff we talked about. So instead of in its own directory, it's now in the same level as the rest of the overlay. And after that, UDEV rules are renamed to its canonical name, the name that can be overlayable. Same goes for repowerD config.
So again, repeating on this, we can only overlay files that exist in any of the deb packages being part of the rootfs. So if porters figure out that they need a certain file, come to the upstream component or the packaging of the component where you need the dummy file, so to say, for overlaying, and let us know. File a report there, an issue report, and we get back to you.
Right. That is the general rule of thumb.
Yeah. Do we have to expect
I mean,
various? Do we have to expect various of such issue reports now?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, there exists some. So as I've demonstrated with repowerD systemd drop-ins, we do have some system that allow adding the file that is not in the rootfs. However, it has some caveats, and most of the time it's not what you want.
So we want to avoid that.
Right. Other than that, we have created a few new files here. With RL subscription, we move it to this. We move RL subscription to its canonical name, same just like UDEV rules. And also we have a few new we have repowerD override thingy that we mentioned earlier. And also we have device hack script, which should provide a touch screen for us.
About the Rails subscription conf file, did we rename it from Rails subscription DFP4 or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did not use DNV at that point, so it's not correct.
Yeah, you have to add it, and then it notices that it's actually renamed. Okay.
Yeah. It has to be this. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so if you now file this merge request and you file it against the FairPhone 4 FP4 repo, FairPhone FP4 repo, then you will automatically break porting of the 1604 version. So Florian Leber says that he's working on getting the overlay system also ported or make it available in 1604, so that we then at the end can migrate or port or transition all portings over to this overlay FS style, like we have now presented, and then we can use the same porter repositories again for 1604 and for 2004 as long as we need it, right?
Indeed.
Okay, so
but with that, we still have some consideration to ask for the device hacks and stuff, and
so that we maybe have to check
but,
on what version of Ubuntu Touch we are running on, or what do you mean?
No, like certain files are not available on CNO, but at the same time, certain files are not on Focal and stuff like that.
Okay. Also, then we have to actually provide those dummy files that we talked about, like gbinder.conf, or what was the other one? The repower default environment variable file. We actually have to provide them to both branches, sort of, whenever we have different branches in the Git repo, like, so that they become available for the packages in Xenial as well as for the packages in Focal.
Right.
So we have to keep that in mind.
So let's see if it's finished already, and yes, it is.
Hey.
And now the final step is to command out, and this step is actually the same with the CNL ports. And now what it's doing now is that it creates it creates a loopback image and then pretends that it's a system partition, and then apply the system image OTA to them, the OTA image that we created a step earlier, the earlier step. Be right back.
So while we're waiting for this to actually finalize its build and waiting for Rachnan to come back, yeah, this is an invitation actually to everyone who is responsible for a port to check out the new scheme and imitate what Rachnan has been showing in this video for the FairPhone 4. Also, if you stumble over corner cases where things have to be done differently, or where you where questions come up and nothing like that has been covered here in this tutorial, yeah, get in touch and we'll see how we can help you.
That okay, that's we are so
Oops.
so this is the last step now, and it should.
But I don't have to worry about the LO setup message there. No, it's detach failed. Yeah, okay.
And now what I'll do is that I will. Okay, that is done, and in the out directory there exists rootfs.ing.
Yes.
I think it should be rootfs.ing. Why there are two files in here?
What sizes do they have?
They are similar. Right, it's okay. It's just that it's made it's so that system image. Sorry, so that it's faster for fastboot to flash it, i.e. it's creating a sparse image.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's good now.
Rajnan, where is
what we will do?
Rajnan, one question. Where is this build folder coming from? So where you have all the build scripts.
This right, this is actually available in its directory. It's repository. So okay, I will post link in the YouTube chat. But this script is shared over a number of ports. Not all ports use this, especially older ports does not use this, but many newer ports start using this script. And so, I mean, if possible, I encourage all ports to start using this script so that the effort is shared between ports. But
okay. There it is.
But I know it's not easy for many ports because of modifications they have done to the build script. Which I mean this is one of my worry is that many ports has customized their script so much that it won't be very compatible with other things. So yeah, if possible, use this generic code. If not, we can talk.
So the overall idea is that we have a very common way of porting across various devices, hardware platforms, so that ideally if you need a special adaptation in this set of scripts, then yeah, consider changing over and consider making your port work with this set of generic scripts. And then if you find stuff that's not working for you as best as it could, maybe you file a merge request and we consider how to actually implement or include your change request. And maybe it makes sense for other porters as well. So
So okay, what we have to do now is
ignore me. We have quite some latency on the line.
Well, I mean, we are on a different continent for those
Yes.
that are not aware.
Yeah, we are definitely.
And now what I will do is I will reboot my phone into fast boot D mode. Can I do that directly? Let's try.
So and then you fast boot. Well, you push all the images via fast boot, the .img files, and then if everything goes well, we're basically done, or rudimentarily done.
Okay, apparently I can't. It just reboot back to touch. And also I now lost my ADB connection. So
But you normally
we'll
can
have to do it the manual way.
Yeah. So volume down, I think it is, and
I guess.
Yeah, or power it down completely and then plug in the cable, and while you do it, hold power. I think it's power down.
Right.
And also, fast boot needs to be unlocked.
I'm not sure how that works, but I've put it in the fast boot before, so okay.
Actually, with the FairPhone 4, I had a quite weird phenomenon. I have a Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon here, and I tried to use fast boot on it has two USB ports, two USB Type A ports. So on the left side, near the HDMI port, and on the right side, and they must be different because I was able to actually access fast boot from the port on the left side, but not so on the port on the right side of my notebook. So that looks good, yeah.
And fast boot mode.
So it's unlocked, which is important.
Yes, of course it is. Otherwise, it can't Ubuntu Touch 16.04 in the first place. But now at this point, I have to.
I know
this have to.
Yeah.
I have to reboot to the fast boot D mode because with this mode, the fast boot does not understand the super partition format.
Ah, okay.
And so I type fast boot space reboot space fast boot. It said wait for any device that does not. Let me try plug it or something.
So I've been fighting with this quite a bit with my phone as well, actually. And the fast, it looks like, from I mean, you're much more an expert on Android phones and stuff, but from what it looked like, the FairPhone 4, the how it comes sort of from when you order it, how it's delivered. It has fast boot D mode, but it is part of the rescue partition, or the recovery partition. it seemed, and I could actually access the device with fast boot via this bootloader that we just saw. And if you have Ubuntu Touch, the UBports installer has already been fiddling with the device, then fastboot D mode is not available anymore as it seemed. So this is all without warranty and stuff, but so I've been playing with that quite a bit actually, and had to reflash the phone with all of the FairPhone OS, the FairPhone Googlified OS quite a few times to actually get things working right.
This looks more like broken cable or something. What?
Oh.
So okay.
Now it works.
I just have to move it to a different port. Yeah, now it works.
Yeah, as I said, I had exactly the same issue with. I'm not sure. Do you experience that with other phones? Because I had that with my FairPhone 4 as well.
Other phones. I have experienced it with other phones.
Okay. Do we know a reason for it?
No.
Okay.
And
so you have already flashed it now, or are still flashing, or?
No,
Where are we?
I'm waiting for the fastboot D screen to appear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why it doesn't appear.
As I said earlier, my impression is that fastboot D for the FairPhone 4 is part of the recovery partition, because you boot into recovery and then you have a menu item where you can then enter fastboot D mode. But maybe I missed stuff.
Every device has fastboot D in its recovery partition. That's how fastboot D works.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I do have a tripod, but it clamps to the screen, and my phone screen is broken, so I don't want to risk it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? Okay, so I think I'm now resetting the phone or something. I mean, get me to the recovery first, and we can talk.
Mm-hmm. So have you?
So here we are in the recovery.
Okay. Can you share the video?
Okay. So this should just bring us to the fastboot D mode. Oh, it's so blurry. Yeah, the first item just says enter fastboot. However, the camera just does not focus it.
Yeah. Don't worry about the camera.
Anyway, they enter fast boot and it just hangs. What? That's weird. I mean, I can just flash it over a recovery instead because recovery does understand the fast boot partition. So no, does not work. Yeah, I guess we will have to sidestep it and flash it over recovery instead.
Yeah, so what you could try is use the recovery image from FairPhone. Not sure if you have that, and then go into fastboot
somewhere. I don't think it's worth.
The other thing we can do is we can say we round it up here, and we actually investigate these hardware specific stuff or things, and we'll do a short follow-up. What do you think, Rajanan? Also, we announced that we'll sort of do this from 1 p.m. UTC till 3 p.m. and we've nearly reached our limit.
You need to enable ADB explicitly. Okay. Here we are. And we have this block here. I name system. No, it has to go by mapper or something.
You're looking for the system partition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the issue with my FairPhone 4 as well, and what brought it, and it happened while trying to flash it with UBports, and something failed on the way, and I didn't use the UBports installer, but the UBports CLI Ubuntu UBports installer CLI script, and also some hand typed in commands like and what fixed it all was reflashing the Fairphone operating system entirely, everything. So, and let it just boot into Fairphone operating system, and then restart everything from scratch, and that then brought back the system partition and whatnot.
Okay. Okay. Now I mean now I get the partition, so I have to say mount it, but okay, so now have to unmount it, obviously. But I mean it was not there before. Okay. And how much space do we have in temp though?
Two gigs, 2.6.
But I mean it's just on the RAM. Okay, but how big? Is 3 GB? No, it doesn't work because if we flash directly from ADB, it has to be the raw file. So I think we need this exec in thing. Huh? What? Does it work like this?
Toggle over ADBX again without temporary files.
I mean, we can check this instead. Yeah, we have a lot of space on that, so let's use that.
Wait, rootfs, are you sure? Because rootfs
Sure.
is the non-sparse version.
The non-sparse version, and so this is non-sparse version, and this is the sparse version. And now we will have to wait a bit.
And the sparse version we need especially for fast boot.
Yeah, I mean, fastboot does work with non-sparse version if I recall correctly. However, it will be less efficient.
Okay.
I mean, I suspect that the recovery image that's generally available is sort of locked down or something for production use. And I guess they have another recovery for Bootstrap. I don't know.
So with 1604, the UBports recovery worked pretty well with it, and together with the UBports installer. Okay.
No.
It was dev block mapper.
I wonder if it supports all these things. Fine. We can wait.
The phone is now in UBports recovery mode while you do this, right?
Right.
This was fast.
Boot A.
And
now we remove the blurry file.
This is going to be interesting now.
The moment of truth.
Yeah.
Let me prepare my camera.
Yeah, do so. Okay, can we have some drum rolls, please, in the background?
I just don't have it so now reboot.
Uh-oh.
The bootloader is unlocked and software integrity cannot be guaranteed, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Unlock bootloader.
And that vibrates. It might be a good sign.
So now the boot splash should come up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that. And by the way, this screen will show every time that you upgrade from Signal to Focal, and there's changelog. As you can see, this changelog is completely unsuitable for end users. I found an issue for that. So
okay.
And here we are. I
Awesome.
think that's
awesome.
Focal. And we can prove it. And touch works, as you can see.
Yeah.
No. Yes, no. What?
Where are we? 1604?
Okay, no, this is Focal for sure. Okay, the OS info does not show up. But judging by how little applications are available, I think you can tell it's 2004. And the fact that the session, the indicator here is not hidden, and the indicator here is also not hidden. I also have an issue for each of those indicators. And yeah, I think that's it for the day.
Yeah. Pretty awesome,
Shall we push everything up before we end this stream?
I'd say let's do that. I have to sort of pick up one of the kids in like 5 minutes or so. I have to leave here, but maybe what we do is, Rachanan, I think I'll leave the session now, and great thanks to you for actually demonstrating this. I hope this has been really helpful to people. I've been learning a lot. I never ported a device, and it looks pretty easy actually if you know exactly what you have to do. So if you are okay, if you have more time, yeah, I'd be happy if you could push all this stuff upstream, so that we can merge it step by step and coordinate with the 1604 developers, that we don't break stuff for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say great appreciation, and then I will leave the session now and actually head home and get kids from a friend's place and stuff, if okay with you.
That's okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, well done. Hope everyone enjoyed it here, and talk to you tomorrow in our DevSync, Rachanan. Thank you.
Okay, of course. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's Maria's leaving the chat. No, not Maria's. Mike leaving the chat. And okay, so as the final steps, I will push everything that I've worked on so far to GitLab. And this is based on this version of thing that I've made. And yeah, apparently I have to fix the shared GitLab CI to also disable the signal port to maybe and what? Okay, but I think that's it. Okay, I mean, I have to push this branch of script first so that it can be used by CIs. Yeah, it stacked things of work in progress stuff. And there want to be merge request because everything is actually in merge request already. And so I think I think we're good here. No. Oh no, I have to create a new branch first. Yeah, so that's commit. And after that, I think I should configure the CI so that it builds the focal image for me. With that, we use this variable called viewable flexible focal and set it to 1. But that also means that we have to we need that special branch and yes, and we need this special branch that I just pushed, which is this branch here. Now, so that everything works correctly, both the ownership and and overlay store support, of course, and also the ability to change root FAs. So that's three things that has to be merged so that it works correctly. Just, yeah, that's essentially it. I think actually the shared GitLab CI base branch is not yeah, it's not actually needed. But I mean, I just merged it together. So yeah, that's it. And so with that, I push it to the GitLab. And I think I want I will leave this blank by now because I'm hungry now, and yeah. I will leave it like this. So, and as usual, the pipeline just fails right away for some bogus reason because if you just get to the pipelines view, you will see that the pipeline for the exact commit but built in the branch context works just fine, and it currently is building the kernel, I guess. Yeah, something like that, and it's cloning stuff. But yeah, it's and so those that there can grab the image from this build when it finishes. I'll post link in the YouTube live chat again. And so yeah, so that's it for today, and I hope you enjoy this stream as much as I do. And I don't know what will be next time yet. It depends on whether we have interesting topic that comes up. And yeah, so I guess see you next time. Bye bye. Actually, it's worth noting that the fact that it looks easy is because most of the hard work is not done by me. Actually, the credit goes mostly to Luca and Alfred, who initially ported this device to Xenial. And as you can imagine, porting to Xenial, like the initial port is harder than just migrating from Xenial to Focal, so please do thank them instead of me. I just made it available on Focal and make it so that it conforms to certain standard. Yeah, so do thank them, really. So that's it. Bye bye.